once again while Mikey takes a swig of Mountain Dew there, or whatever. Are you done? Oh, he's thirsty. We are here at After the Credit Show to review the movie that you see. What is it, up above?
Down below.
Down below. Kick-Ass 2.
Wherever you are viewing this on. In fact, let me know. If you're viewing this on a mobile device, leave a comment and let us know.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah.
That way we won't put like little text that you can't read, because that's dumb.
Yeah, I agree. But we're here to review Kick-Ass 2, a movie that we went to go see here, not too long ago, and I would imagine that some of you folks out there went to go see it as well.
Hopefully.
Well, brief synopsis about this movie. Hit Girl's back, Kick-Ass is back, and a whole cast.
Well, Hit Girl reluctantly is back.
Well, at first though, she came back,
right.
But then as the story progressed, she wanted to get out, and stuff like that. And a whole other cast of wannabe superheroes. I mean, a whole big cast of wannabe superheroes return. In addition to Red Mist, who
now is known as the Motherfucker.
Changed his name to the Motherfucker, and that was quite an astonishing revelation. But yeah, so this movie, as it progressed, Hit Girl wanted to get out, and she did. And so Kick-Ass was left alone with this band of, crazies, I guess you would call them.
We had Turk from Scrubs as Dr. Gravity.
Right.
Jim Carrey as Colonel Sergeant Stripes.
Yep.
With his dog.
Yep. And there was other ones. There was a husband and wife combo in there.
Yep.
I don't even know what they were.
And the gay guy who didn't wear a mask because he's been in the closet.
And the love interest of Kick-Ass though for a little bit there. Night Bitch. And
great name.
What it was is that Red Mist / Motherfucker wanted to get revenge on Kick-Ass, for killing his father. And he found a way to
get the gang because he can't do it himself. Yeah, he's not strong enough.
He found a way to start taking them out one by one. And we're not going to go into how he did it or anything like that. We're not going to give you any spoilers. But let's just say that he found a way to start getting his way to Kick-Ass. And that's how the story unfolds. And then, somehow, some way, Kick-Ass figures out a way to get, what's her name?
Hit Girl.
Hit Girl back into the fold and whatnot. And all hell breaks loose. And as you would expect, there's a showdown at the end. And, that's the synopsis of the movie. And what did you think?
I have two little bitches with this movie.
Okay.
One of his best friends, Todd, they recast him. I know why they recast him. It's because the guy that played him in the first movie was busy filming an American Horror Story, and I'm fine with that.
Sure.
My big gripe is, spoiler alert, he kind of betrays Kick-Ass, and there's never any punishment for him doing that.
No, not really.
Like, it's a big focal point of the movie.
It is.
And there's no punishment ever for it. My other big complaint is they recast Marcus, the guy who takes care of Hit Girl.
Yeah.
That was a big change, and I'm not sure it was for the better.
I didn't really mind that one as much.
See, it might have bothered me more because I'd watched the original right before we went to the theater to see this.
Right.
So that might have been part of my problem with it.
That could have been part of your problem with it, but it didn't really bother me all that much. I thought that character was strong enough so that it didn't really matter, and he did take a lead into, he cared about Hit Girl,
right.
And you could tell that the guy playing this character did, so he played it with conviction, and I liked that. It didn't bother me.
I enjoyed the end of this movie. It's different than the comic. The comic is 3 volumes. The 3rd volume is coming out now. They changed the end of the movie here, and I know why. Basically, in the comic, Hit Girl goes to jail at the end. So for the movie, they changed it because they weren't sure they were going to get a 3rd movie. Mm-hmm. So you didn't want to end it on that down ending of her going to jail,
right?
Where you can't do anything with it if there's no 3rd movie.
Sure. And I never, much like the first one, I didn't read the second one or anything like that. I did not do that.
I'm a huge fan of Mark Millar.
My problem with this movie, though, well, let me tell you what I did like about it. Unlike other sequels, this sequel did forward the characters and bring in new elements for the characters.
Right, we had a superhero group instead of
there was a group.
One.
Kick-Ass is getting older, you know, and exploring relationships and stuff like that, as well as Hit Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Exploring that kind of stuff, you know, so it gave the core characters more to do instead of just doing the same old schlock. The one thing that I did not care about this movie, and maybe it's because you see it in every movie, is that the violence, while in the first one it was really shocking, at least in this one, you know, when it was there, it was expected, and it kind of got a little, I guess you would say, lame. You know,
well, Jim Carrey has a huge problem with it.
Right.
That's the whole issue.
Yeah, and, you know, I guess, you know, every time you see Hit Girl on screen in an action sequence, does there really have to be all that much blood? Or why don't you give somebody else
You're just
an
numb
opportunity
to it.
Yeah, you're numb to it after a while, and it just, you know, it's just there.
You kind of like when the dog bit the guy's balls, though.
Yeah,
and
you
Jim
know,
Carrey adds the line, "You got a dog on your balls."
And fair enough, and that's fine because it was somebody else besides Hit Girl. But it seems like every time Hit Girl, you know, the blood starts flying. Okay, you know, give somebody else a chance to have some blood flying in here too.
It was nice to see Kick-Ass finally get to kick somebody's ass, though.
Yeah, he finally did. He finally did. But as sequels go, you know, I don't think that this obviously lived up to the first one at all. I love the first one. The characters were charming in the first one, whereas this one, yeah, they're going through the motions, and they did give them some more, but they just did not come off with that charm that they had in the first one.
Right. We did have a different director here, and I wonder if that added to it.
Yeah, and, you know, I'm not, like, I didn't look in to see who wrote this movie or anything like that, but I don't know if we had a different writer either, but it just seemed like a different vibe throughout the whole movie.
Right. Matthew Vaughn was busy working on the X-Men Origins sequel, so he couldn't film Kick-Ass 2 at the same time.
Sure. So, you know, it just had a different vibe than the first one. Not that it was a terrible sequel. Was it worth watching? Yes, but...
I left the theater with a smile on my face, and at the end of the day, that's what I want out of a movie.
Before you walk out of that theater, though, or if you wait for DVD, be sure that you stay throughout the credits. There is one little snippet at the end of it.
That's a public
service announcement.
It's a very little scene, but it is kind of important.
It is very important, and, you know, just to give you a forewarning, just go ahead and watch it through the credits. That's a public service announcement from us to you. As for a grade, I'm going to give this, I may be harsh when I say this, but I'm not going to give it any more than a C.
See, and I'm going to be nice and give it a B-.
There you go.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was in the ballpark.
Right. You know, and I think it's almost, you know, I think that if they do a third one, I think they will learn from the mistakes that they had in this one and then maybe get back in the vein of the first one. Kind of like the Iron Man series in that sense, you know?
I want more movies based off Mark Millar stuff, so that's fine. We got Wanted, we got Kick-Ass, supposedly they're working on Secret Service. Mark Millar's got his hands all over the place working on movies.
There you go.
So, I'm fine with that.
But that's our review for Kick-Ass 2, and let us know what you think if you saw the film, and that's what we have for you today. Since 2013,
we've been reviewing movies
for your pleasure.